Hello, this is group project by group B5 on the research paper Leidenfrost on branching. So, hello, this is Vineet.
Hello, this is Ishika Mamtani.
Hello, this is Rahul Tangurne.
Hello, this is Vegi and Ashrita.
Hello, this is Rohit Suryavanshi.
Okay, so firstly, we'll begin with the brief summary of the paper, what the Leidenfrost phenomena was. So, when a drop of liquid is placed on a surface of very hot solid, by very hot here we mean a solid having temperature more than Leidenfrost temperature. So, in such a situation, a layer of vapor is formed between the droplet and the surface. This causes the droplet to levitate instead of evaporating rapidly, and it propels in a defined direction with a defined velocity. One solid, that is dry ice, also shows this effect when observed under similar conditions. So this shows that vapor production is the main cause of the motion of the body.
Hello, I'm going to explain the mechanism that follows. So when the droplet of liquid falls onto the hot substrate, it doesn't boil right away, even though the temperature of the substrate is higher than the boiling temperature. The reason is that the temperature is so much higher than boiling temperature that when the liquid falls onto the substrate, the part of the droplet that is in contact with the surface of the substrate, it boils right away. Because of it, a vapor is quickly formed, which acts as a vapor cushion and an insulator between the substrate and the rest of the liquid. Because of it, the heat of the substrate doesn't transfer to the rest of the liquid, and thus the rest of the part of the droplet doesn't evaporate right away. Thus, the droplet moves around in the liquid phase. So when the droplet falls onto the surface of the substrate, the leading edge, that is the edge of the droplet that falls onto the surface, and the trailing edge, that is the back edge of the droplet, when they fall onto the surface, they don't fall at the same height. A height difference is created. Due to this height difference, a pressure gradient is created. This creates a vapor flow, and this vapor flow is the main cause for which acts as a propulsion force for the droplet to move in a defined direction and velocity. We can control the nature of the motion of the droplet according to the surface of the substrate. If the substrate is a flat solid, the droplet will move in any random motion. However, if it's a surface such as a ratchet with a symmetric surface, then it will move according to the edges of the surface. Now, as the droplet moves around the surface, it reaches a terminal velocity. This is because of the presence of a special kind of friction, which is present between the teeth of the surface and the droplet. This kind of friction depends upon the size of the teeth and the size of the droplet.
Now we'll see about the factors which affect the propelling movement in the Leidenfrost effect. So this includes temperature of the surface. Since we know that the temperature of the surface should be greater than the Leidenfrost temperature. This temperature is required so that the water droplets after landing on the hot surface do not directly evaporate completely into the air. Hence, temperature is an important factor. Another factor responsible here is the height and the length of the ratchets. It contributes to the speed of the droplet. As the height of the tooth increases, the friction experienced by the drop while propelling increases, and hence it affects the terminal speed of the drop. Now, the thickness of the vapor cushion formed also helps in determining the speed. As the thickness increases, there is a decrease in the contact of the drop and the ridged hot surface, and hence this leads to fewer contractions and the mass ejections decreases, and hence the speed of the droplet decreases. Now we'll look into some of the formulas which are derived in this paper. The first formula which we'll look at is the propulsion force. So this is experienced due to the contraction faced by the vapor film. So due to the contraction, mass ejection takes place, and hence the force is the product of mass and change in velocity. And then on further analysis, the force comes out to be the expression which is F is proportional to F naught into R by A to the power 3 by 2. Where the terms here used have the meaning or have the following meaning which is given in the slide. Now we'll look to the second formula. So the second equation which is here derived is the special friction. So because here the friction and the propulsion force balance each other in this effect. So which implies the friction here is much larger than the usual order of the friction which we see in our daily lives. So the expression of friction after balancing the forces comes out to be F is proportional to rho naught into V square into R square into epsilon by lambda, where the terms used have the following meaning. Now, we look at the terminal velocity. So after traveling for some time, the drop travels with a constant velocity or terminal velocity, whose expression after balancing of forces comes out to be the expression given in the slide, which is V is proportional to the following expression. Now, we'll look at the expression for the velocity profile of vapor flow. So here we have considered the vapor film which is formed between the drop and the surface as a parallel plate geometry. Since we can see that the bottom surface, which is this hot surface, it has a velocity v equals to 0, and the top surface, which is the surface of the drop, has the velocity v equals to v of the drop. Therefore, we can consider it as a parallel plate geometry and derive the equation as we did it in the class by Navier-Stokes equation. And the expression which comes out for the vapor flow is this expression, which is 1 by 2 neta dp by dx, which is the pressure difference gradient, into z minus h, where z is the height, plus v drop by h into z.
So now speaking about applications, Leidenfrost self-propulsion has potential applications in deep space and planetary exploration. It has exciting implications for working in extreme and alien environments such as outer space. The major application of the Leidenfrost effect is that a new kind of engine can be produced, and Leidenfrost-based engine dry ice deposits could provide the mean to create future power stations on the surface of Mars. Directed motion in Leidenfrost drops can be useful for efficient heat transfer, targeted hotspot cooling, and cooling for a nuclear reactor. Leidenfrost-based devices could find applications in wide-ranging fields, spanning from frictionless transport to outer space exploration. Shortcomings. One of the shortcomings of this effect is that this effect takes place for a liquid of Reynolds number of the order of 10, so that there is no time reversibility as the gas flows, and as a result, the flow can be asymmetric. So the effect on liquids of very low Reynolds number is not known. This effect works until Leidenfrost temperature, because at temperature above, the bottom part of the droplet evaporates immediately and the resulting gas suspends the rest of the water droplet just above it, preventing any further direct contact between the liquid water and the hot plate. This leads to skidding of drops around the pan on the layer of gas. Scope for further research. The prerequisite high substrate temperature limits the industrial application of the Leidenfrost effect. So efforts have to be made to lower the Leidenfrost temperature down to the boiling point of water. The current method of Leidenfrost self-propulsion being employed consumes a lot of energy for heating because of high Leidenfrost point. A near room temperature Leidenfrost point is desired for future applications. The possibility of non-uniform substrates of the drop settling dynamics are not discussed. If these problems are mentioned, those mentioned above are rectified, we can find more applications in this effect.
Now, from this research paper, we understood the beautiful phenomena of droplet levitating on a hot surface, which is able to do self-propel in a specific direction. With further on research and analysis, we are able to understand and achieve the method to move the droplet in specific direction by using grooves on it. Including grooves on it, we are able to make our droplet climb on a slope. Then we come up with the different factors which affect our droplet movement, so that we can able to control the movement of our droplet in a specific direction which we want, including its speeds and direction on it. And also we can able to climb in on different surface, changing it into different form of energies we want. Then we come up with a wide range of scope on future research, and ended up with theoretical insights on Leidenfrost effect. Thank you.